Welcome back to another visual explainer for the Macroeconomics IA channel. Today, we're zooming in on a highly specific, honestly transformative window of time. The research dates between April 26th and May 3rd, 2026. You might be wondering, why this specific week? Well, because in just these few days, the artificial intelligence industry completely shifted on its axis. We saw an absolute reconfiguration of power, massive financial swings, and geopolitical moves that are literally going to dictate the future of tech. So, whether you're an industry veteran or you're just trying to wrap your head around where this is all going, we are going to break it all down visually for you right now.
Okay, let's dive into our roadmap for today. We're going to follow the money and power, starting with the billion-dollar race, then the end of AI exclusivity, defense and geopolitics, risks and regulation, and finally, we'll wrap up with some strategic insights.
So, Section 1, the billion-dollar race, the true cost of artificial intelligence.
Look at this number, $725 billion US. The AI race is just no longer theoretical speculation, guys. It is a tangible, massive infrastructure reality. This staggering number right here is the combined projected capital expenditure for 2026 from just the top tech giants. We are talking concrete, steel, silicon, and power grids. To put that into perspective, this level of spending rivals the GDP of entire nations, and it is entirely dedicated to building out the physical infrastructure required to make AI actually run.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the market is violently reacting to these expenditures. Back on April 29th, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, and Microsoft all reported their Q1 earnings. And just look at the contrast. Alphabet was absolutely rewarded by investors. Their shares jumped after reporting a massive 63% growth in Google Cloud revenue. But then, despite record revenues, Meta's stock dropped by about 10%. Why? Because Mark Zuckerberg announced they were raising their AI spending forecast to up to $145 billion. Investors are getting jittery for sure. The bill has arrived, and it is immense.
Moving on to Section 2, the end of AI exclusivity, the market reconfiguration. For years, the defining partnership in AI was Microsoft and OpenAI, right? Before this specific week, Microsoft had an exclusive lock on OpenAI's technology through Azure, and they paid royalties. Now that exclusivity, it is completely gone. OpenAI can literally take its business to any cloud provider it wants, and the royalties have been eliminated. But don't mistake this for a total separation. Microsoft still securely holds on to its 27% equity stake in OpenAI, which is valued at a whopping $135 billion. So they still own a massive piece of the pie, they just aren't the only bakery in town anymore.
And the market reaction to this breakup? Lightning fast. On April 26th, the Microsoft exclusivity officially ends. Literally the very next day, OpenAI launches its GPT 5.5 model directly on Amazon's cloud platform, Bedrock. And the day after that, AWS integrates OpenAI's managed agents. In less than 48 hours, Amazon capitalized on the breakup to offer OpenAI's premier products directly to their own enterprise customers. That is just how aggressive the competition for cloud dominance has become.
All right, Section 3, tech defense and geopolitics. The Pentagon chooses its partners.
And this brilliantly illustrates how corporate tech shifts directly impact national security. On May 1st, the Pentagon announced major agreements to deploy AI across its classified computer networks to create an AI-first fighting force. The winning contractors are a literal who's who of tech: AWS, Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, SpaceX, NVIDIA, Oracle, and Reflection. But notice the glaring absence here: Anthropic. Earlier in the year, Anthropic refused to grant the government unrestricted access to its AI for military purposes. And as a direct result, the government exercised its economic leverage, excluding them entirely and giving their competitors a massive revenue and data advantage.
Section 4. Risks, energy, justice, and regulation. The physical and legal limits of expansion.
Let's ground this excitement for a second and look at the roadblocks. First up, the legal battles. We are neutrally following the historic $130 billion lawsuit between Elon Musk and OpenAI. Musk took the stand this week, basically calling OpenAI's shift from a nonprofit to an $800 billion for-profit enterprise the biggest charity heist in history. It is a high-stakes battle for the governance of AI. However, in cross-examination, OpenAI's lawyers presented emails from 2017 showing that Musk himself had actually endorsed a for-profit structure, provided he was the one in control. The outcome of this trial could absolutely redefine corporate governance in the tech sector entirely.
But there is also global regulatory risk.
Down in Brazil right now, the regulatory body, CADE, is actively investigating Google over its AI overviews, what's known in the industry as zero-click search. Because the AI just answers your question right on the search page, you never actually click the link to the original article. Studies submitted to CADE project that traditional digital journalism portals could lose up to 20.6% of their web traffic. This perfectly illustrates how AI is forcing regulators to step in to protect traditional digital business models.
Actually, scratch that. The most severe roadblock isn't legal at all, it's physical. Based on data from MIT and the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, by 2028, AI data centers are projected to consume 12% of all electricity in the United States. Just pause and think about that for a second. One single industry eating up more than a tenth of the nation's power grid. The physical constraints of our electrical infrastructure might just be the hard ceiling on AI's growth.
Let's move to Section 5, Scenarios and Strategic Insights. What to watch in the market.
So, let's see how this all builds together. What should you actually be watching out for? Well, first, the end of the Microsoft OpenAI exclusivity means AI access is officially becoming democratized across all cloud providers. Second, big tech profits have completely pivoted. They now depend heavily on the ability to build and maintain massive physical infrastructure, not just clever software. And finally, the ultimate winners won't necessarily be the ones with the smartest algorithms, but the ones who can actually navigate the physical energy constraints and those tangled legal bottlenecks around the world.
Before we wrap up, if you want to keep tracking these massive macroeconomic shifts with us, make sure you follow the Macroeconomia channel. We are constantly breaking down the intersection of macroeconomics, artificial intelligence, and technology to give you the clearest, most structured insights possible. Access the links in our description, hit that follow button, and stay tuned for our upcoming publications as we continue to track this rapidly evolving market.
I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. We're building the most advanced digital minds in history, but ultimately, they are completely tethered to the physical world, to concrete, copper wire, and power plants. Can our physical planet actually sustain this boundless digital explosion? It's the question that will define the next decade. Now, please note the disclaimer on your screen. This material is a compilation of open projections from third-party sources and is strictly for informational and educational purposes. It does not present any ideological bias, it does not constitute an investment recommendation or financial advice of any kind. Projections are subject to frequent revisions according to new information obtained, new external facts, and even new narratives. Likewise, past performance is no guarantee of future performance. Thank you so much for learning with us today, and we will see you in the next explainer.